everyone, today I'm going to be talking about covers I hate and covers I love. I have 3 for each and I am super excited about the covers I love because they're just beautiful. But I do have like some really dodgy covers on my shelf, I noticed, and I was like, I could make a video out of this. So that's what I'm doing today. We're going to start with the covers I love because I'm just too excited to show you, so we're going to start with those ones. And the first cover I have for you is On the Other Side by Carrie Hope Fletcher. This is a beautiful book. I've talked about this in quite a lot of my videos. It is a stunning story and I definitely recommend it if you have not read it. It is about a lady called Evie Snow who dies in her sleep at the age of 82, I think it is. Is it 82? Yes, it is 82. And she ends up going to her own private heaven, but the doors to her private heaven are locked and she has to work out a way to open those gates. Don't really want to say much more, but that's the sort of idea of the story and it is really sweet. But this cover is just beautiful, and you've got the little door there which obviously links in nicely, and you've got the tree in the shape of a heart, which I just think is beautiful. All of this does link into the story, but I don't want to tell you how. And then just the little birds as well, and the birds and the guitar and all of the little purple bits there, they're all shimmery as well. I don't know whether you can see that on the camera. And the door's shimmery as well. It's just stunning, and I also really like the font of Carrie's name, and also just the font in the middle actually as well, because it's quite plain but it works really, really well. And I think it works well because the cover's quite busy, but the font just sort of settles it down a little bit. I really, really love this cover, and I think the colours as well are just absolutely stunning. And also on the back, again, it's the heart with all the little trinkety things around it, I suppose you could call them. And on the side, you've got the door again and the key, which it just works perfectly, and it really does link into the story. But obviously if you've not read the story, then I don't really want to go into it because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But this is just stunning. I am so happy with this cover, and when I have more space, like once I've got my own place and things and I can have more bookshelves, then I definitely want this forward facing, because at the minute it's just sort of sat on my shelf like this. Well, like this, you can see that bit, so it's quite nice there, but I want it sort of forward facing so you can probably see this cover because I think that would look lovely. The second book I haven't actually taken out of the cellophane yet because I don't want to until I've read it. It's just too pretty and I don't want to get damaged. But this is possibly my favourite cover I have. I adore this cover, and I got this for Christmas, and that is Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. This edition is just amazing. That is gorgeous. I absolutely love how each of the images are separated and it's sort of like a grid. I really like that. And also the typography as well for the title is absolutely stunning. I love how some of the images are shimmery, so everything in gold. So you got Peter Pan and Wendy and the boys, and also Tinkerbell there as well, she's shimmery, and some of the sun as well. That just looks lovely, obviously including the typography as well. But I just absolutely adore this cover, and the colours are just amazing. They stand out so well. And I also love all the different colours in the sun there as well. I don't know how well you can actually see this because it is quite shimmery, but I really hope you can see this well. And also the little towns in the background there, London, you can see all of London there in London, and it is just amazing. It is such a pretty cover. I am really happy with this one. One of my favourite bits on this cover actually is quite a small bit, but I love it, and it's the little ship in the corner here. I love anything nautical themed, so anchors, ships, and anything sea lighthouses, anything like that I am obsessed with. I just love things like that, so I absolutely love the ship there, and I love pirates, so obviously you've got Captain Hook and Peter Pan, so that's obviously linked to that. And on the back you have what is sort of included in this book, because you do get quite a lot included in it, and it is lovely. It's very pretty, and I can't wait to actually take this out of cellophane. I'm going to have to read this soon because I need to know what it looks like inside. And then on the side you have the sun again with the title and the author, and then a really shimmery little Tinkerbell there. So it is just, yeah, it's beautiful. I love it so much, and I love Tinkerbell. We know this. I really love Tinkerbell. And the final book I love is another book I've not actually read yet, but I've heard amazing things about it, and I really need to get this read because it is just a stunning story apparently. And the reason I like this one's because it's quite plain, but it works really well, and I'm hoping it links in with the story well enough because I can't actually say that yet. but this is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and I love everything about this cover. I love how plain it is, but yet I like the coffee stain sort of look about it, the old kind of parchment paper look, and it is just, I am obsessed with this cover. I love it so much. And obviously I know this is told in the perspective of death, I think it is, so obviously you've got that there, and then you've got the little girl as well. And I love the typography again. I think that is beautiful. It's as if it's been written with a quill, and I love that sort of calligraphy kind of writing. It's beautiful. But because of that, I think the title really stands out, because if you look at his name, it's really plain, and it works still really well. I like that, but it really does make the title stand out, and I think that's really important. And then on the side, you've got the same sort of thing there with death at the bottom and the title and his name. And the back, again, it's just quite a plain back, but you've still got the coffee stain, sort of parchment look going all the way around. I just think this is beautiful, and I definitely need to get this read very, very soon, because I have heard this story is amazing. I've heard nothing bad about it, so I definitely need to get this read soon, and I really hope I do. I just feel like this cover makes it look so haunting, and I love stuff like that. Anything that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, like when it comes to stories, I love. So I'm a bit weird like that. I love things that make me feel uncomfortable when it comes to reading and films. So yeah, real life not so much. I don't like being put in uncomfortable positions in real life, but that's a different story. But yeah, if you've read this, can you let me know what it's like without spoiling anything, and whether I should read this soon, because I really should probably read it soon, but it's just getting around to it, and it's quite a big book as well, so it's kind of like a little bit intimidating, but I definitely want to get it read soon, and this cover just intrigues me so much. And now we're on to the covers I don't particularly like, or in other words, to be honest, I completely hate. They're not good covers. So the first one I've got is actually one of my favourite books, which is really upsetting because it doesn't have a good cover, but the story in it is brilliant. And that book is Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. This story is brilliant. It also has a film to it as well, so if you've not read the book or seen the film, I definitely recommend both. They're really good. I prefer the ending in the book though. It's similar, it's very similar to the film, but it's just the film did it slightly differently, and I didn't like that as much because I was really obsessed with the ending of the book. But I'm not a fan of people on covers. And I don't mean the sort of like book thief situation, because I know there's people on there, but it's sort of like drawings, like that's fine. But when there's actual like photographs, I'm not a big fan of that. And this is quite a shiny book, so I'm going to have to just be careful with how I'm moving here. But it's just a bit boring and doesn't really say much about the story. This just looks like one of those cheesy romances, and there's a lot more to this story than that cheesy romance. This is the film cover as well, which obviously doesn't help because naturally it's going to have people on it. But I just don't particularly like this. And most of Nicholas Sparks' books, if not all of them, have that sort of photograph look to them. And I don't know why, because Nicholas Sparks' writing is actually quite good. I really enjoy it. I know there is issues with the author. I am fully aware of that. After reading some of those kind of things, I'm not keen on the author in sort of a general perspective, but his writing I love. But yeah, I just find this too cringy. I'm not a cringy person, and it just looks like one of those really cringy romances, and it's not. There's a lot more to that. So yeah, if you've read this and you have this cover, I completely understand if you hate it. You can get another cover though, so I'll just insert a picture of that here, and that obviously isn't the film cover. I like this cover, but again, I'm not a huge fan of it. I just don't think it's that great, and it's a bit plain and bland, but what can you do? The story's still good. Don't look at the cover because the story's still brilliant. I've just realised something about these books that I'm going to show you, but you'll get the idea once I go through them. But the second book I have here is A Company of Swans by Eva Botson. This is a story about a ballerina, and that in itself says you can do so much with that cover. You can do an amazing amount of things with the cover. But this is what happened. And I'm not a fan. At all. Again, person on the cover. And it's that really cliched look of the girl being there and she's not quite looking fully at the camera. Just one of those like cliche covers. And I'm like, no. No, not a fan. I also think the vines, now I don't know how well you see them because they are shiny, but the vines look really odd and out of place. Is that just me? I feel like they just look like they've just been stuck on top of her head, and okay, in a way they kind of have, but it just doesn't go. I just don't feel like that goes. I think that's really random. Like up there it's not too bad because it's hitting the purple, but this going over her head and things, I just, no. I just don't get it. I don't really understand why it's there, and I don't know how well you can obviously see that, but when I'm looking at it, that literally looks like there's just been tinfoil stuck on her head, to put it plainly. That's literally what it looks like. And also the photo isn't the best quality. Like, it looks like it's being taken. Like, I could have taken a better photo than that. I just don't think it's a very good quality. This is an old book, mind, but I will say that you can still take much better quality photos than that. I mean, it's not great, to say the least. I do quite like that typography though, the shiny typography at the bottom for the title. I do quite like that, but I think the title should be bigger than her name, and it's not, it's the other way around. I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, I quite like that typography, but again, it's shiny, so in certain lights you can't see it properly, and I think it's really important that the title should be seen straight away. I don't so much mind the colour though, the purpley colour with the photo. I think that looks fine, and I think her name stands out enough, and obviously this bit at the bottom as well, which says she can dance her way to a new life. I think that looks fine as well. So I'm not like hating absolutely everything on this cover, but I mean, it's not really exciting, is it? It's a bit boring. And then this is a book I've not read yet because I've not read the first book to the series yet, but the first book, I know you can get this cover as well, I just haven't got that cover, so you're going to know what I'm talking about because it is a very well known duology, I think it is. And that is the If I Stay duology, but I'm going to show you where she went because this is the cover I have. And it's the film cover. And again, we've got the two people. And I'm not keen on that. It's too cringy. They're just like staring. I mean, who stares at each other like that? Who stares at each other that intensely? Nobody. Nobody stares at each other that intensely. I don't understand why covers do this. It's like, okay, yeah, you're in love probably. I'm assuming, I've not read the book. But okay, I'm going to say they're in love. That's fine, but I'm like, nah. Now, I don't know whether this grid has anything to do with the story, but if it doesn't, if this has absolutely no relevance to the story, I really don't like that grid look. It hurts my eyes a little bit. It makes it just too busy, and I don't like that at all. And it's not in the sense of how Peter Pan was busy, because that grid was sort of each square had its own picture in. This is just an overlap situation. You know them puzzles you get when you were little, like where you have to like adjust each of the little squares to make the picture? That's kind of what this reminds me of, and I'm like, no, I'm not a fan of that. I do quite like the city in the background though. I think that looks quite pretty. That's quite a pretty image, and it's good quality as well. What's good about this one is the photos are quite good quality, unlike the other book I've just showed you. But yeah, I'm just like, And I don't really think, I mean, the typography's alright, but I don't really think it stands out that well. This is another one you can get another cover for, obviously, though, because this is the film cover, and this is the other cover for it. Again, though, not that much of a fan. There's person on the cover again. I don't like people on covers, unless it's like what I showed you with the book thief, and it's all like drawing and not like a photo. I'm not keen on photos on a cover, I should say. Photos of people anyway. Anyway, I got a bit angry there, so let's just calm down. Covers that I don't like get me a bit intense, but that's fine. It's okay, we can have our own opinions. Obviously, if you don't agree with my opinions, that's completely fine. I am open to any opinions. I'm not going to hate you if you don't agree with what I've just said there for any of these books. But if you do agree with me on any of them, let me know the ones you do agree on, and let me know the ones you don't agree on, and see if we have the same sort of opinions, because I'd love to know. And if we do disagree on any of them, let me know why. Let me know what you think. And obviously, if it's any of the ones I've not read yet as well, and I've not mentioned a point because I don't know the story, then without spoiling the story, then you can let me know as well. That is absolutely fine, as I love to talk to you all. So that is it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. As always, all of my social media links are in the description bit thing below if you want to check any of those out, and I will see you all in my next video very soon. Bye!